Now, the events of the last few weeks seem to show a little bit of a softening, let's say, from the Sussexes towards the rest of the royal family. Now, your masthead, The Mirror, has suggested this week that they're morphing back into being royals. What are the giveaways?
Well, certainly. I mean, there's been a lot of controversy both sides of the pond, really, for Harry and Meghan, and they're not far from it most of the time. However, my understanding was Prince Harry had expressed his desire to try and take a temporary role back within the royal family. Can you believe that the deal he signed, the Sandringham Summit 4 years ago when they decided to leave the royal family, that he would want to try and come back on that? Now, the late Queen, Prince William, and the then Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, now the King, had told him there was no way you could have an in and out model of the royal family. Harry seems to still think that this could be on the cards. He seems to think that his father's cancer diagnosis, his sister-in-law, the Princess of Wales, has been in hospital out of action as well. That could open a door or an avenue for him. But certainly it's my understanding that the royal family are going to shut that door firmly behind him and say that there is absolutely no place for this in-and-out role model. But they're continuing in Whistler. They were at the Invictus Games 1 year ceremony last week, and certainly they are morphing into this whole new role for themselves, royal or otherwise. So I think it's a very interesting period of time for Harry and Meghan.
As you said, that olive branch offered by Harry seems to be resoundingly rejected, which you can understand. Even Donald Trump has today taken a view on this. Now, Prince Harry, we understand, is against the idea. Do we know precisely the reasoning?
Well, the issue for Prince William is certainly that he feels that his brother needs to come to the table and apologise to the family. You've had, countless TV interviews, starting with the Oprah Winfrey, then the Netflix series, the memoir that absolutely savaged each and every member of his family, and still no accountability from Prince Harry, still no relationship with his brother. I mean, Prince William has got an awful lot on his plate at the moment. He's got his father taking a leave of absence, undergoing cancer treatment. His wife has been in hospital. She's not going to be coming back to royal duties for a fair few weeks at least. And, Harry on the other side of the pond pontificating about how he could sort of save the royal family is certainly not the order of the day for Prince William. And I think that he's been pretty appalled by his behaviour and certainly wouldn't welcome him back. And who could blame him?
It's also been reported this week that Charles had been urged to send Princess Anne to speak with Harry and Meghan. Is this the case? And who would have prompted that course of action?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Certainly, Princess Anne has been described as King Charles's trusted lieutenant. She's the one that he used as a sounding board for a lot of issues. Certainly, I imagine, were not only to do with the business of state, but certainly the issues with his family as well. And why wouldn't Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, be sent over? The no-nonsense attitude of Anne would probably shake them and sort of shake their heads and say, listen, we've got to try and work this out with the family. What is it that you necessarily want from your father and your brother? Is it an apology? Is it a sit down? Is it something that sort of can't be brought to the table just for the three men to try and sort their differences out? But I think whether Anne would actually go over speaks volumes, because she definitely does have a relationship with Harry. She was the one who met him at Balmoral when he flew in and when the late Queen was passing away. And certainly she might only be his only ally in the camp at the moment.
As you said, Princess Anne is a very, senior working royal. She absolutely has her finger on the pulse. Now, we understand that she warned King Charles about slimming down the royal family, and those recent health concerns which have sidelined King Charles and Princess Catherine, it seems that those concerns have come to reality. Now, what is the current state of play for the rest of the working royals? And was Princess Anne, was she justified in being concerned?
Well, it's interesting because Princess Anne and King Charles had often spoke about this, and the King's vision has been realised in recent years, mostly by accident rather than design. Certainly, we had Harry and Meghan leaving of their own accord. Prince Andrew had to be booted out in disgrace. Of course, he's taking this leave of absence to undergo cancer treatment. As you said, Princess Kate is on the sidelines for a few more weeks, possibly months as well. And Princess Anne had argued against this slimmed down monarchy, saying, there's not really a lot of us left. There is an awful lot to do, an awful lot of charities, organisations that the royal family have an association with, and it's looking pretty threadbare at the moment. So they're very spread very, very thinly. There's not a lot of them to go round. Obviously, there's the issues of how much money they're costing. It's very, very prevalent in conversation here in the UK and abroad. So I think that it's something that possibly the King does consider, and whether to kind of bring some reinforcements in from the sidelines, I'm not too sure, but possibly he's regretting his actions, making it so slimmed down at the moment, because it is looking pretty thin on top.